And the reason why I wanted you on here, though, is because I have to say, like, you know, you are one of the Make Real Estate Real. You're one of the top of the class. You just, you know, you're very engaged. And even with the squad, with the whole team, you know, everybody's always talking about Eva, Eva, Eva. When you look at the members only Make Real Estate Real Facebook group, it's like it's like when somebody register and come right on and they just pumped up, they're excited. They're like, oh my God, I just finished the course and I'm part of Make Real Estate Real. And then you like the first person that's just like, hey, welcome to the family. Man,
yes.
Like, you know, so man, so, you know, I think we got enough. I don't want to hold you too long. I know you got a lot of family obligations. So go ahead. I'm going to just put you on live and just, you know, man, tell everybody who you are. And let's just start right there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first of all, thank you so much for letting me be live with you. I feel extra famous. So, Eva Palacios, I am located in Northern California, specifically in Stockton. And I mean, this whole experience has just been phenomenal. You know, I mean, we're like most, you know, traditional blue-collared workers. And then one day, 7 years ago, got exposed to entrepreneurship. And for the past 5-6 years, we've been following ET and the whole squad. And then, you know, while we were on the phenomenal life stuff, we got to know you. And honestly, like when we saw you present Make Real Estate Real and we were looking at the numbers, I'm like, there is no way. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm in California. Like, those numbers do not even touch the radar in terms of being able to invest in real estate. Not only that, I mean, we have our own home. We've purchased our own traditional single-family homes throughout our life and attempted to get into real estate investing. We had a property, had some really good tenants, and the last tenant really just did us dirty.
Ooh.
And we knew at that point we never wanted to get into investing again. It's just, it really just sucked us dry. They trashed our place. They were in our property for 6 months without paying, and the county wouldn't evict them because of the process. Like, it was a nightmare. So
Wow.
when I saw your course, I'm like, I really want to do this. And you know, hubby, Will's like, let's do it. Let's do it. Like,
well, why? Let me ask you something. If you went through a nightmare like that, because I mean, that's important. I think a lot of people would have just ran. They would have just said, you know what? I'm done with real estate. It's just not cut out for me. I'm going back to my blue collar lifestyle. What made you, what was it that mindset shift right there? What made you say and have the faith to even try it again?
Honestly, it was because of the team. It was the team, who you're a part of, the network, the squad, the system. Like, I knew when I dabbled in it before, it was just us. And I'm the type of person where I've got OCD. Like, I got to be in control. Like, I got to be in everything to make sure everything's legit. And I knew that I couldn't be the only person doing that. So when I saw your program and I saw literally the system in place, not just the educational piece, but the team of people that you have in Chicago that literally are like, everybody has their role. And because everybody has their role, it just makes it so much easier for me to be like, okay, you know what? Let's just step out on faith and let's just see if this works. And
so let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, because some people don't even know what we're probably even talking about when you're talking about the team.
Right.
So, yeah, why don't you break it down? So I'll even say this. Eva was part of our first ever Make Real Estate Real, and she actually came to the 2-day seminar. So go ahead and talk about it, because you was mentioning the team.
Yes. So last year, it'll be a year ago, May 18th and 19th weekend, which just happened to be me and Will's wedding anniversary. So we spent our, gosh, what was it? I don't know. We've been together for like 22 years, so I don't even know. 20th anniversary, right? And we literally spent it in Chicago. Now, granted, we have family there, so we were definitely hanging with the family. but it was really to attend your course. And I knew the type of person that I am, like I can be online and I can watch it, but I need to like be in it. Like
Yeah.
I need to be there. I need to like feel it. And I just thought, man, Jemal and his team really thought about this course, because you guys literally take somebody who knows nothing about real estate, nothing, and you literally teach us everything, the importance behind your realtor, your lender, your project manager, your
Yep.
construction team, like all of it. And that just really just inspired us to just really understand, okay, here are all the roles you need to have if you're thinking about this. I could possibly do it out here in California, but that's going to take me a whole bunch of time to really find the right team. I said, you know what? Why not just invest in Chicago? One.
So stop right there. So you wasn't nervous? I mean, come on. Like you wasn't nervous. You were all the way in California.
Yeah.
And here it is. I know you came to Chicago to get the information, but you also saw the opportunity that presented itself.
Absolutely.
You know, and so you wasn't, tell me about that process, because you live in California. And I think a lot of people, when I speak to people about real estate investing, they're like, okay, I have to invest in the city that I live in. People are
Right.
under that assumption that I have to invest in the same city I live in. But now you talked about having teams and systems in place. So
Right.
what was the mindset? Like, was it your husband that told you, like, hey, we got to do this? Or was it you that told him? Like, I know you guys had to be fearful being all the way 4 hours away from Chicago. Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so Will, he's like, let's just do it. He's the one that's like, let's go. Me, I'm like, hold on, like, we need to make sure it makes sense. Absolutely, I was scared. So we took your course in May, and we really didn't even like many people. You take a course,
Yep.
and you either take action or you don't, and we didn't. So it literally took us until September, so about 3 months, not that long, but September to really start looking at properties. And then we went to go visit family, and I said, well, you know what? Let's go meet up with April, you know, who's Tab Realty, who literally is a breath of fresh air.
And who is April? Who is April?
April is your real estate girl.
Yeah, so for the people that don't actually have an understanding who these names are. So April was my first real estate broker. So I know a lot of people, you know, might have heard the story, and you heard how I was in a hole and I wanted to become a millionaire and I used real estate. But April, you know, just a real quick story. When I came back to Chicago, I was charged up, and I was like, man, I want to live in a mansion. My boy got a mansion. I'm gonna stay in one just like him, you know. And I went, and a friend of mine was like, hey, I know a real estate broker. My uncle's a real estate investor, and he got a really good real estate broker. Here's her number. Give her a call. Let her know who you are. And then my guy was like, matter of fact, I'm gonna have my uncle, who's a top client, I'm gonna have him put in a good word for you. And so I called, you know, so I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, this is too easy. So I called April up. I gave her, like, you know, maybe a few hours, and I called her up. And I'm thinking that this big-time millionaire investor, you know, I made the introduction already. And I called April up, and I was like, you know, hey, can I speak to April? And she was like, yeah, this is April. Who's speaking? I said, this is Jemal. And then she was like, Jemal who? And I was like, Jemal King. I was like, you know, Damon's friend, the one who, you know, he said he was going. And she was like, I know a lot of Jamals.
Oh.
Like, this is the first conversation we ever had. And I told her, Eva, at that very moment, I was like, look, you will never forget my name.
Oh.
I was like, you will never forget my name. And
I am the Jemal King.
Oh, and to this day, she keep on saying, you said I would never forget your name. But just real crazy part, you know, I teach people about your team and how important your team is. So, yes. I mean, how important your team is. And I'm going to show you guys, even though I wanted better for my life, I didn't have the know-how. I didn't have the how. Like, how do you do it? So I knew I wanted better. I knew that real estate was the way from what I heard, but I didn't have the steps. And so thank God I met April. And I remember taking April around to like all of these fancy mansions. And I remember just going around, and I was like, I told April, I was like, look, I'm a Chicago police officer. I was young, you know, I was like 22 years old, and I was making $36,000 a year. So I thought I was balling. You know, no kids, 36,000. You know, I got my little fiance with me, and I told April, I said, I want to move in. I want a big mansion. Like my boy, he playing the NFL. I want a mansion. Prices are a little cheaper in Chicago. And so I told her the communities that I wanted to live in. She hopped in the car with her. We went around to all of these mansions, right?
Wow.
We went around to all these mansions, and I was like, oh, this is great. I was like, you're the best real estate broker ever. I was like, you reading my mind. Like, you're really reading my mind. This is what I want.
He's speaking your language.
Oh, man. And then all of a sudden, she was like, you like these? And we went into like several of them. And I was like, man, I love these houses. I was like, I love them. And then she said, all right, cool. We got a few more properties we need to go look at. And I was like, we don't really need to look at anything else. Like, we need to just give me the keys. Why sign on the dotted line? And she was like, well, let me just show you a couple more. So we hopped back in the car, and then she started driving. And then I remember the mansions. It's like the further we drove, the smaller the houses would get.
Like, April, we're going the wrong direction.
Oh, I was like, where you going? Now, I was a police officer, and I was working in like the worst, one of the worst areas in Chicago.
Yeah.
And she was driving towards that area.
Oh, no.
And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And then what she did, we got out the car. Well, she got out the car, and I was like, I'll wait right here for you. And she was like, I need you to get out the car. And then I was like, all right. So I got out the car, and she was like, those houses that you want to live in, those mansions that you want to live in? And I was like, yes. And she was like, yeah. She was like, you see these houses? She said, that's where you want to live. But then she was over in this area here and said, but this is what you could afford.
Dang.
Hey, burst my little bubble. I was like, I'm talking about when I was looking at the mansions, even my chest was out.
Now you're like,
I deflated. I was about this big. But let me show you something. Mm-hmm. She said, and her exact words, this was 20 years ago. She said, but if you invest in these properties over here, the net profit that you're going to get, you can take that money and use that money to live over there.
Yes.
Man, I'm telling you.
And we need that. We need those mentors to teach us that. To teach us there is a way to get your goals and your dreams, to accomplish them. But you just need to be connected with the right people. The right people that can show you the way.
Absolutely.
So were we scared? Absolutely. Because I'm like, my OCD, like, I need to be looking at properties. I need to like physically touch things. What if my contractors don't show up? What if I send money and nobody like starts working? Like, I had all of these doubts, but what does that do? Fear and doubt paralyze. So I just said, you know what, babe? We're going to do it, and let's just see if it works. Because you don't know. You don't know if it works if you don't try. So, yeah, I mean, I knew, very on, based on you, the team, the squad, the business, all of that, I'm like, this is legit. And if the only thing that's going to hold me back is fear, scared money don't make money. So, and I'm not investing in California because it's going to take a whole lot more money to do it out here. So we just said, you know what, let's just look and let's see what the numbers look like. Yep. And if it makes sense and we're approved, then it was meant to be.
But see, the thing is too, and I'm glad you brought up the numbers. One thing about the course that I wanted to make sure that I taught you guys was to eliminate the fear. Yes. I was on a live yesterday with Caesar and his wife Jen, and we were talking that men lie, women lie, but the numbers never lie.
Nope.
The numbers never lie. And so part of the course, that whole 2-day course is all about getting the fear out of you guys. But it's not by getting the fear from you by motivating you or inspiring. I'm getting the fear out of you by giving you the numbers, giving you the formula, giving you the blueprint. So that now you know, and you don't have to call Jemal and say, Jemal, is this a good property? You
Right.
have the cheat sheet that I give you that you take to every single property.
Mm-hmm.
And the cheat sheet is the actual formula that I use and I've used on every single property over the last 20 years.
Absolutely.
And no matter it, and the reason why I use the cheat sheet, don't go into the details, but the reason why I use it is for a time like this. If you just think about now the cheat sheet and what's my philosophy, you look at what's happening with the market right now, or just life, not the market, because the real estate market is still great, but you look at what's going on just with this pandemic, and it's like this cheat sheet is here to protect you.
Absolutely.
So sometimes it might take a little bit longer. When I first bought my first property, I looked at 77 properties. How many properties did you look at?
I don't even know. It was a lot. It was a lot. But here's one thing that I made sure I wasn't too picky either. Like, a lot of people reach out to me and they're like, how do you know? Like, how do you know which ones to pick? I said, honestly, if the numbers make sense, that's how I pick it. Like, I don't.
How does the numbers make sense though? Come on, that's good. How does the numbers make sense? Meaning that and see, this is what I tell people all the time, and I think this is so important, and whoever's listening need to hear this.
Yeah.
I teach people to have a purpose for every property you purchase.
Yes.
Have a purpose. So one property that might look good to you might not look good to me. The reason why it might look good to you is because you got a purpose for that property. The net income that you're going to receive, whether it's $800 or $1,500, you got a purpose. And your purpose is different from what my purpose is.
Absolutely.
And so, go into that, like the purpose that you have for the property and things like that.
Yeah. So everybody's numbers and purposes are different. But what I learned from what you've taught me is we need to create, for every property we get, that income needs to cover each and every expense that we have. So we need to find a property that's going to cover our mortgage payment. We need to find a property that's going to cover the car payment. We need to find a property that's going to pay for all three of our boys' college education. So yeah, you need to be very specific and intentional for what you're trying to do. And even in the beginning, I was a little caught up with, well, do I want to hold properties or do I want to fix and flip properties? And to me, like, my big vision, I want to fix and flip a few to build nest egg to put away for a rainy day. Okay. And then start actually having those mailbox money properties that'll pay for all of the expenses. Because
Look at you.
My biggest vision is to be the hard money lender.
Ooh,
that's my vision.
Let's go.
So that's where I want to go. Because look at right now. The pandemic, so many financial institutions their criteria are crazy high. So many people aren't lending. But we've got students who have the income, have the assets, but they don't have the ability to buy. So why can't we be the private money people?
You're speaking my language.
Yeah. So that's the big vision. That's the ultimate goal.
When we get off this live, we're going to talk. We're going to talk real soon.
Yeah, because it's all about empowering people. You know, there's people right now that don't even, that isn't even tuning in because they don't think that there's even a mustard seed to be able to allow them to do this. But if they know that they have the right tools, the right information, the blueprint, and they see other people successful, that's going to give them the hope and the desire to want to be a part of this. And that's what I love, because it's like, I'm nobody special. I just took a course and I listened and I do what my teachers tell me to do, and this is what happens.
So you're saying it works?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about your first property.
Yes.
Yeah. So why don't you run the numbers? Let's get let's go.
Okay. So first property, which it took us about 3 months to really find. Yep. And so one thing that I always taught myself, this is business. You don't get emotionally attached. This is a transaction to where either you're going to hold and rent or you're going to fix and flip. So for me, I didn't care what the property looked like as long as the numbers made sense.
Come on.
Our first property is a 2-flat which basically means second floor is 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. First floor, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, and a basement.
Yep.
Which the first floor is going to open to the basement with a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. So the first floor will be a 5-2. A
yep,
duplex.
It's gonna be a duplex. Yep. Yep.
So
let's start here. What's the purpose that you have for that property? Because I tell people you have to know the purpose before you purchase the property. You gotta know. You can't make game time because you're gonna go about it different. If you're gonna fix a property, you're gonna put a little bit of higher end stuff than you would if you're just gonna keep it for cash flow because you're gonna constantly be changing things. So what was the purpose you had for that property beforehand?
To fix and flip it.
To fix and flip. Did you already have your numbers already set in your head?
Yes.
You already knew exactly how much roundabout you wanted to net from this property.
Yep.
You already did the numbers. You knew what the ARV was.
Yep.
You knew how much to construct. So what you did is reverse engineered it, right?
Exactly.
All right. Exactly. So come on, let's go. Go ahead.
So purchase, listed price was at $68,000, but we bought it for $51,000.
Oh, you talking my language? Come on.
I'm like, instant equity. Yes. Right?
I just got the chills.
Yes. So we bought it for $51,000.
Wait on. You bought a 2-flat building, a brick building in the city of Chicago?
Beautiful brick building.
For how much? For how much?
$51,000.
Now, was this like some type of special auction? Was this like the hookup?
No!
Because when I tell people that I'm getting deals like this, they tell me, oh, this was back 20 years ago. No. You can't get that now. This was just on an open market, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Nothing special.
All right.
Nothing special. I didn't.
How much was this building?
How much
would it cost in California?
I'm sorry?
How much would that building cost in California?
We ain't got those buildings. Oh, over here? Yeah. That would probably cost, if you're talking San Francisco, which they do have duplexes out there, you're talking easily $1 million.
Okay. All right. So come on. Let's finish.
So yeah, it's crazy out here. So we bought it for $51,000. We're gonna put $120,000 in rehab, all of that, making it beautiful. So you figure, 120 plus the 51, you're at 171. Okay. ARV 250.
Okay, nice. So your estimated net profit, and where you at with this renovation right now?
Right now we are on stage 3, which in ours we've got 6 stages, so we're stage 3. Inspector just came out on Tuesday for
in the middle of Corona. In the middle of coronavirus, the inspector came out.
Yes.
I got messages that people wasn't working anymore and stuff like that.
I will say this, they were supposed to come out last Monday. Something happened. I think it snowed that day and something weird happened. So they postponed it till this Tuesday. So it was only a week later. So nothing crazy. They're still working.
Good.
Yeah, so now that electrical and plumbing has passed, now they're going to start, they're already doing the flooring, and now drywall is going to go up, and we'll see what the next stage is.
Wow. And what's your estimated net profit on this? What is
oh my gosh. So you gotta pay the team, you gotta pay the realtor, like all of that, whatever stuff. But net profit is probably gonna be 40,000-50,000.
And how 40,000? How many times have you been to this property?
Twice.
How many times do you plan on going to this property by the time it sells?
Well, put it this way, if it wasn't for Corona, I'd be there right now. But the crazy part is I don't even have to be there. Like when we closed on that loan, mobile notary, met up
how was that? Yeah, so were you in Chicago or were you in California?
I was in California the whole time.
So explain that process, please.
So we originally saw the property online. Our agent sent us a bunch of properties we picked. We bought the property just by looking it online. And then we flew to Chicago to go hang out with the family, the team, all of that stuff. And that's the first time we walked the property, was once we had already bought it.
Wow.
Yep. And then came back, did, everything has been literally online. Our agent sends us pictures. They
So go through
FaceTime
that. Go
us.
through that. Go through that process. Go through like the
Yeah,
actual construction, the renovation portion. Did they send you pictures through the phases? Did,
it
did
is.
you come out did you come out of your pocket with the rehab money, or did you get that from the lender? Give me all of that.
Yes. So all I came out of the pocket in terms of my bank account sending money to them was $20,000. And that was to help for the down payment cost, which was about 10%.
Okay, so
But,
you spent 10%.
Yep.
Okay.
10%.
Okay.
A little bit more, give or take.
Yep.
But the lender literally is financing the whole thing. So no out-of-pocket cost for construction. The lender sends us money after a certain stage is done. Mm-hmm. Inspections need to be made to make sure that property is up to code, make sure everybody's doing its work, and then the lender then releases more money so that you can then go to the next stage, which that was all new to me. I had no clue about how that worked, but just for the fact that we've got the team and it's explained so well that I'm like, man, this is a piece of cake.
Now let me ask you something, because this is important. So the actual course itself, like the online course, the structure of the course, is it dead on with now that you've been through it in real life? So it's no longer practice no more. You were in the game. You're in the game.
Yes.
Could you follow? Is the course kind of a mirror of what's happening in real life for you?
It sure is. It sure is. I mean, the course is amazing. It literally tells you A to Z, this is how this whole thing works. Then when you do it, you're like, it is exactly what we just learned. Like, it's crazy. I'm like, what the heck? Like, how is Jemal the only one doing this right now?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Nah, it's been such a blessing. When I say, and I mean, I need y'all to hear my heart right now.
Yeah.
It's just been, I mean, let me tell you guys, when I renovate properties, it's no better feeling than I used to get. I've been doing this for the last 20 years. I mean, it really makes me feel, because I love taking my vision and then bringing it to life and making it other people's reality.
Yes.
But the thing that I finally found, the one thing that I love doing more than renovating properties, I finally found it. And that's renovating people's mindsets.
Yes. Yes.
Renovating people's mindsets, taking away all the garbage and all the old, moldy ideas that's been put in their heads by their jobs or growing up by their families or by their communities, and actually now seeing people have victories like yourself, seeing people actually win and seeing people happy. It's not, and I tell people all the time, like, dude, this is not about you. Like, what you're doing, we not just, this property you're doing is not just about you. It's about everybody else, man.
Yeah.
It's about everybody else. It's about you positioning not only your life, but your children's life, people that's coming, your grandchildren's life. And that's why I don't see this. When I see a person get a victory or get a property and then flip that property, or they, Will was on here, the Randolphs was on here. And they said that the purpose they had for that property that they flipped, they got a check for like $58,000, I believe. And they said that they wanted to pay off their grandchild's private school tuition.
Wow.
Now look
with one property.
Just one. I tell people all the time, just one property. That's all you gotta do is one. You don't have to be a freaking multi-millionaire. You ain't got to do all that. One property will change your life. Yep. And that's why it's just so important. So, so go ahead. I think you was talking about
one property can literally replace an annual income for somebody. One property. And what's the average rehab time? 3, 4, maybe 5 months?
Maybe. Right.
So it's like, if you get started in a year, what's life going to look like? I'm with you. It's one thing when you do it, but it's a whole nother level when you can teach somebody else to do it.
Yep.
And then they're successful, and then it's generational, because guess what? Now our 3 boys are like, they're on Redfin looking at properties. Hey, Mom, what about this? And how about this? Look at this one.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing about it, I've heard people kind of like say, oh, I'm not going to get in real estate because, it takes 3 to 4 months or 5, 6 months to renovate a property. And they don't even realize, like, you won't wait 3 to 6 months to renovate a property, something for yourself, but you sit on that job for 20 years waiting on promotion. You will sit waiting on promotion, something that might not happen for 20 years.
Yep.
Busting your butt, and you might not even get promoted, but now all of a sudden you won't do something for you won't wait 3 to 6 months for yourself. Something that you have forever.
Time is going to pass by anyways. The question is how are you spending it? How are you spending it? And what's life going to look like next year if you keep doing the same thing?
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I love it. We're excited. Our realtor and project manager, they're on it. I mean, that was another fear, was like, I'm not there. Like, how do I know if work's getting done? Like, how am I going to keep on these people? Do I need to worry about that? No, you've got the team. You've got a project manager who's in there that's literally going to be checking on your property, making sure the contractors are doing their work, taking pictures of the stages, FaceTiming you. Here's what's going on. I love getting pictures. I'm like, yes, I got pictures today. Let's go. The roof got patched. Part of the siding got done. We got dumpsters in there. Like, it's amazing. But I think people's biggest fear is, I've got to be there. Or who do I hire? Like, it's crazy to me, because I'm like, you don't need to hire anybody. Like, you just stick with the system, stick with the team, and you've got everything there. Like, literally everything is at their fingertips. And I always tell people, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Wow.
Who you know that's going to help you get to where you want to be. And I just thank you for creating this awesome course. I thank the whole ETA squad, because they're just phenomenal. I know so many people that spend thousands of dollars on real estate courses. And I've been to those, free real estate courses just to try to get as much info as I can. And hands down, nothing comes close to what you've designed. And not only what you've designed, but the hands-on guide, the private Facebook group for all of the students that take this course, that want that daily interaction or have questions or just needs to take a look and see, are people really successful doing this? Because that's what paralyzes people, is they don't know who has done a course that have actually been successful by it. So when people actually start seeing regular people becoming successful in real estate because of this, like, that's super huge.
Yeah, no, it is. And that's why I said you are definitely inspiration. A lot of women, and the crazy thing is, with Make Real Estate Real, like 50 to 60% of all of the students, I might be kind of off, but I would say, like, almost the needle is tipping towards women.
Yep.
We have more women come through this class than men.
Sure do.
So surprising, because, just historically, usually women kind of stayed away from construction and things dealing with that. But I'm seeing my sisters just kill it right now.
Yes.
I'm seeing y'all coming out here, man, and y'all like really doing it, and you're really making it happen. I'm loving the fact that I'm seeing couples doing it. I'm seeing married couples. And it's just beautiful, because, usually you see the husband doing his own thing, you see the wife doing her own thing. But Make Real Estate Real was based off of my life, based off of my wife's life, based off of how we came together and how we work on everything like this. And so I love seeing this, man. So I get excited. Like I said, I'm so excited. I'm more excited. I could flip a property right now, make $100,000. And I don't even go to my closers no more. I tell my attorney to go. As a matter of fact, I tell my attorney to deposit April, or my attorney, they go deposit the money that I made on the property. I don't even go to the bank anymore. So, but this is everything. And this is why I'm doing exactly what I'm doing. I'm making it, my goal used to be, I wanted to purchase, 500 properties or 1,000 properties. Now, I wish I did just purchase 10 properties. So, But my main real goal, like my main, you know, life's work right now is to see people, man, see people win.
Yes.
You know, I've been with too many people. I've seen too many people pass away, you know, while still dreaming and still hoping. I've seen it. I've seen too many people talk about one day.
Yeah.
One day I'm going to do this. One day I'm going to get that. And I used to tell people, your day is here. Your day is right now.
Yeah.
The only thing stopping you is the information.
Yes.
And so now, if somebody gives you this information, if I put step by step and I give you this information,
yep.
you know, now you have no excuses. Now you don't have to wait. You don't have to put off things. You don't know, man. Look, this pandemic, nobody's seen this happen. Nobody, but the thing about it, nobody could have said COVID-19 was going to do this. But at the same time, what I was always telling you guys was that you can't wait.
Nope.
You know, and whether we get a cure for COVID-19, it's going to be something else.
Yeah.
It's going to be something, it's going to just have another name.
Yep.
And so whatever the name is of that thing that's stopping you, you can't wait any longer. Nope. You got to see what it feel like to win. You got to at least try. I've never failed at a property. And with the system I got, I don't plan on failing on property no time soon.
There you go.
At the same time, I can't, like not trying, that's failing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to give my family the full experience of life.
Absolutely.
That means something. Like everybody that's listening, you know, write that down. The full experience of life. Everybody is alive, right? You're alive, you're breathing, but not everybody is getting the full experience of life. It's not good enough just to do things, just to say you did.
Living life with no boundaries. No boundaries. There's so many people that can't do this because of this, or they can't do that because of this. Just imagine a lifestyle to where you can pay cash for whatever the heck you want to buy, or you've got the credit to be able to leverage whatever the heck you want to do, or you want to get up and go take your family on a vacation for a month and just be like, everything's taken care of. Like, imagine life on your own terms. Life is so much different when you've got options. So much.
I can see the smile on your face.
Yes.
I can see them options. You know,
I've got all kinds of dreams and goals, and I'm like, boys, and another thing, like purpose, when we do start holding property, each property is going to be for one of our boys. So one of our boys, setting them up financially, and that's going to go into their own account. So when they're ready and they're grown and they can touch that money, go for it. But yeah, like you got to really think big, because what we're doing right here is generational. It is generational, and the knowledge that you take from this course, the knowledge and the exposure you have to the team, you're going to soak it in. Then guess what? That information is going to get passed out to your circle of friends, your children, your family. And then by the time we're all done, everybody's going to be living a different lifestyle.
Yep, planting seeds. That's it. And that's what it's all about. Like I said, I probably never lived to see the light of day of the fruit of the fruit that's being bared from this, not just for my family, but your family and everybody else's families that's connected. And man, it's just a blessing. Like, I mean, this is the real joy in life, seeing people win.
Yes.
And I you know, I love it. You know, before I used to focus on me winning, but
it's crazy because so many people, they're around people that just hold them back. They're around people that want to see them lose. No, you got to get with the right people who want to see you win. Yes, there are people like Jemal King who want to see people win. There's people like me that want to see you win. Because when everybody's winning, man, the energy in the room is completely different. Completely different.
Different. Everybody's smiling. So, hey, let's do something. I want some people to ask you questions.
Awesome.
So, so if you got a question for Eva, you know, let's go ahead and ask her a few questions. So let's see. There's a bunch of stuff already on here. People was already asking.
I know, probably got to scroll back.
Somebody wanted to know, Natasha Green said, one LLC or multiple LLC for the boys?
Ooh, separate LLCs, because I was told when you start holding property, you want to create different LLCs for different reasons. So they
Yep.
will each have
Series.
one.
Yep, you got a series LLC.
Yep.
Yep, series LLC. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? Um, somebody said, have you ever lived in Chicago? You can see the questions?
Yeah, I can see them too.
Oh, okay, come on, read them. Go ahead.
Have I ever lived in Chicago? No, I have not lived in Chicago, but my dad was one of 14, and 10 of his siblings are in the Chicagoland area. So we do vacation there often. And I'm just so glad that the stars magically aligned and Jemal's in Chicago. So for us, it was really a no-brainer because 1, the team is there. 2, I got family there anyways. And 3, it's a beautiful city to visit. And I can write it off as a business expense.
Okay, so we got one right here. Does it make a difference if you take the course online or in person?
Ooh, good question. For me, it all depends on where you are. For me, I need to be in person. However, this course is so easily detailed and systematic that if you do it online, you can grab the information just like that as well.
You know, and I'm biased, so I'm kind of like both of them are my babies, and so I will say the one thing. I mean, in person, of course, you get us live, and you're getting all the information. But I will say the one thing about the online course is that you have a reference to go back to. You know, you have the step-by-step reference to go back to that you can always, and you can pass that information on to your children. If you was at the live conference, pretty much you got to go back home and tell all your friends and family. But if you have the online course, you can literally sit them down, and as opposed to telling them the experience, you can show them the experience.
That is true.
Yeah, one more. I got a question right here. How long after you finished the course did you purchase your first property? Cats and coconuts.
Yes, so we attended the live course May of last year, and we started looking at properties in September. We put in an offer in September. That didn't go so well. We got outbidded, but in December is when we officially closed on a property. So about 6 months later? And that was only because we didn't take action right away. Like we were on cruise control. Life was going on. You know, my dad got really, really sick, and unfortunately he passed away during that time. So we had a lot going on, but had we not had nothing, no distractions, oh yeah, we probably would have purchased a whole lot sooner.
Okay, so did you, another question here, did you already have real estate experience before taking the class?
Good question. So I do have a little bit of real estate experience. My profession for 20 plus years has been in the financial industry. So credit, debt management, personal finance, real estate. I don't have my real estate license. I haven't done any real estate real courses, but just been around it for so long. I've picked up a few things, but never investing.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let you pick something.
Let's see. I'm petrified of losing my little bit of coins. Did you have previous real estate experience? Okay, kind of same question. Here's one thing that I've really, really learned to take away from Jemal's teaching. Me, I like to hoard money. I have money in the bank, and I'm like, let me leave it there for a rainy day. Jamal's like, what is that money doing in your bank account? The bank isn't even paying you 1%. Take that money, invest it in real estate, and watch how much your money can grow. And I said, you know what? I got to stop being a chicken, and let's do just that. And now look what we're going to walk away with. $50,000. There ain't no bank in the world that's going to pay you that type of dividends, letting your money sit there.
And how much money did you come out of your pocket?
$20,000.
So $20,000 out of your pocket is going to bring you back your $20,000 plus an extra $50,000.
Yes.
Okay. So somebody on that question, somebody said, how long will it take to sell the property once it's done?
It depends, but you know what? At the end of the day, everybody needs a house. So whether it sells, great. If it doesn't, we can always rent it. No money's lost. The question is how much is going to be made and at what time?
Yep. So was your team built on your own, or did you use the Make Real Estate Real teaming, person for person?
Make real estate team all the way. That's all I have.
Yeah. Okay.
And
All right.
I think somebody said, "Is this Eva from the Make Real Estate Real group on Facebook?" Yes, that's me.
Let's see. Somebody said, "Can I take the online course, and then when you come to Houston in October, go on the property tour?" That's a good question.
Ooh, you going to Houston in October? I'll be there.
Yeah, so that's a good question. You know what? Send that question, whoever you are, send that question to Real. And if anybody has any like serious questions, I mean, everybody know you can send me a DM, but you can send that question to real@etinspires.com. That's REAL@etinspires.com. All right, somebody said, all right, so this is principle to the people. They said, I've gone to the in-person and the online course. And in caps says both are phenomenal. So yeah, I tell people all the time too, you know, and that's why we discounted the actual online course is actually 50% off right now, just because of everything that's going on. But you should take advantage of that and actually do both. So I've seen people at the seminar with the online course, and they're going through the printouts and things like that, and it made sense for them. So somebody said, do you think that Los Angeles is too expensive to buy and hold? As long as the numbers work. Like you gotta, I start with the end. Honestly, I don't look at something being expensive. I look at what I'm going to get from that property.
Yes.
You know, I need you guys to think of it this way. When you first got hired by your job, you know, one of the first, even I go before that, when you applied for the job and when you was going through your interview and when they asked you that question, you know, they asked you 100 different questions and they asked you one question. Do you have a question for us? The one question, if you didn't notice already, that was looming in the back of your mind was, how much are you guys going to pay me? Like, I need to know, how much are you going to pay me? Well, in that same way, whenever you're purchasing a property, you need to, how much am I going to make off this property? That needs to be. So I don't look at it as something that's too expensive or not. If it's going to bring me in what it is that I'm desiring, have a purpose for every property you purchase. You know, it's got to be worth it to you. So whatever your number is, you know, so if I got a house note, my house note is $2,000. My monthly mortgage is $2,000 a month. And I got a property that I'm purchasing and it's going to cost me $300,000 to purchase this, but I only got to come out of my pocket $30,000, 10%. Is it worth it? It can cover my house note now. Now I can keep that money that I'm going to work for every day and keep it in my pocket. So, you know, it's got to be worth it.
There was somebody else that had a question. I think two different people were talking about, one, what if I don't have the money to start investing in real estate? You know, and to any of you who may not have the money for the course or may not have the money to actually invest in real estate, find a way. Number one, find a way to do the course. Here's how my mind operates. It's an investment. Number one, you're going to pay to do the course to learn from a solid, proven system with students who are successful. But not only that, you will then be put into a private Facebook group where we are all at. So let's just say you don't have any reserves, but you've got enough money to buy the course. You're not only going to buy the course, you're going to buy a team of a network of people where that right there is going to be social proof of people who are going through the course, have graduated from the course, who have bought multiple properties through the course. But most importantly, you're going to have this network of people to constantly ask questions and be in a safe zone where you're going to be filled with nothing but great information with no hidden agendas. That's what you pay for, guys. So when people always ask me, well, I don't have money to do this, I always tell them, look at the value you are receiving. There ain't no other real estate course you can get for this dollar amount that's going to give you more value than what Jemal King has created. Hands down, guys. You are paying for the network. You're paying for the team. You're paying for the information which is in that group. And that in itself is way more dollar amount than what Jemal is giving it to you guys at. So
wow,
find a way.
I'm speechless. On that note, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna be quiet.
And people know like the personal people who like know me, I don't push anything. I push things that I have literally invested in. I'm not going to share or refer something that I don't feel is legit or that I don't have my own monies tied into it. And that's where people really need to see the difference behind if somebody is swaying you one way, is there a hidden agenda?
Yeah.
Or if somebody is swaying you another way, do they have skin in the game themselves? Because if they're not investing in it, then why would you?
Yeah.
But you have tons of students. What is that group filled with? Already like 1,200 people? Like, I don't even know. It's over 1,000.
We had 1,800.
Wow, almost 2,000.
Really the real number is actually over 2,000, but everybody don't have Facebook. So
that's true.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, here's a good question. Somebody said their name is All Balled Up. They said, you guys make it sound so easy. Is it really this easy? I will say this. It's not about it being really this easy. It's really this necessary. That's the question that you should be asking. Yep. Is it really this necessary? And my answer would be yes. Just look at what's going on right now. It's more necessary now than it's ever been. But see, the thing is that it took this pandemic to make people realize that you need to have other streams of income coming in. You need to live your life while you're still alive. You know, it's people that's checking out of here that didn't even, they wasn't even prepared for it. And then some people on their deathbeds realizing that they never really even lived. So it's not about it being easy or not, but it's necessary. And that's why I said, that's why the purpose behind every property you purchase is so important. Because if this property is taking care of my children's private school tuition, there's no thing that can come about that's going to trump this property, making sure that it's positioning my children to have an education that otherwise I couldn't afford. So it's not about it being easy, but it's necessary.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, and a lot of people may feel like it's coming off easy. Oh no, believe me, it's not easy, but like Jemal said, it's necessary. And is it worth it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because now more than ever, if your income has suffered because of the COVID situation, because you haven't positioned yourself with having multiple streams of income, now more than ever is why you should create another stream. Because as long as you work for somebody else, you're never in control of your income. Never. I don't care how high up you are on the totem pole. I was with my company for 17 plus years. All it took was the company to go through a merger, new CEO come in, get rid of high level paid employees, and I was one of them.
Wow.
And it sucks. But when that happens, I had already positioned myself and already started multiple streams of income. And what did you say? The wealthiest have 7 streams of income. You don't need all 7, but you need to have at least 2. Because if your job is the only thing you have.
You're giving your job too much control.
Yep.
And, and that's the thing, man. This is all about taking control. Taking control over your life. Taking control over your family's life. That's what this is all about. So it's not just about buying properties. I don't fall in love with the bricks.
No.
I don't fall in love with the properties. I fall in love with the purpose that each property serves. That's what I'm in love with.
Look who's joining us.
What's up, Will?
I just want to say what's up to you and thank you for the opportunity you gave us.
Oh,
We're appreciating it. We
I can't take credit, man. This is all God, man.
We appreciate it, and if anybody could do it, I would suggest you do it. Jump on it. Don't be afraid, because if you're afraid, don't do it. But if you are afraid, talk to somebody who did it already and let them help you walk you through the steps, because this is nothing to be afraid of. This is going to help your future. It's going to help your kids. It's going to help you in the long run. So just whatever you got to do, do it. Hit up Jemal, hit up Eva, hit up whoever's doing it because of the fact that they already know what they're doing. So that's my input on it. I really don't do Facebook.
Say hi, Will.
I really don't do Facebook, but I leave the Facebook to my wife and all that. But other than that, I follow her steps. I follow your steps, Jamal. And from there, everything is great. So that's the only thing I can say on that.
Wow. And I think on that note, we've been on here for an hour, and I want to respect y'all time. Man, I just wanted to, just thank you. And thank you for being, you guys are the reason why the program is successful, stories like this. And so, I'm going to make it something that I'm going to bring on our students from Make Real Estate Real. And, I'm going to have the stories on here. That way to let everybody know exactly what they're going through.
But see, what I want to say on that is, we want to get to your level because look at your background. We had to put a background. You in the background. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing with us. We got to get to your level. And guess what? You know how I am. You know how she is. We're going to get there, Jamal. You'll see us. We're going to get there.
Hey, look, let me tell you this. The same way how, like I told everybody else with the real estate course, I'm not teaching you real estate so you can do the same thing. I'm teaching you so you can be better than me.
Yes.
If I would have started with this information, there's no telling. But you guys now got the baton in your hand, and you guys are running with it. And so I don't want you to run my pace. I need y'all to beat me.
I'm going to need you to catch up because I got the baton now. I'm going to have to pass it over to you to catch up.
Hey, it's all good, man. It's showing that we got 54 seconds, man. So, look, I just want to, again, just say thank you, guys. Man, you guys, Eva, like I love the fact of how engaging you are in the Facebook group to all of our new family members, coming in, and I just want to thank you, man. So go ahead.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and say one last thing. You got 20 seconds.
Just thanks for having us. Thanks for creating this program. It definitely empowers people like me who was once scared because of a crazy tenant that just did us wrong. But it's people like you that we need in our lives to just inspire and empower us to get out of our comfort zone, to give us the right information to literally change our lives and our families' lives. So we appreciate you.